Back then, this was sort of 20 odd years ago, we had this thing called Hello magazine. And there was lots of pop magazines out. Celebrity was huge then, you know, there was people at parties and Hello magazine and similar magazines around the world. All the photographs of superstars and celebrities were kind of in a kitchen, all posed in a studio, all beautifully lit by a swimming pool, kind of not sort of real life, and it used to sort of, it got on my nerves a bit. I just sort of thought, why can't, just like that, you know what I mean, like having a fag, doing the stuff that we all do, the ordinary stuff, you know, like make a cup of tea or sit on the loo or, you know, have an argument or be asleep, you know. Them pictures, so everything was becoming very, very manufactured. Then I went to some British Pop Awards, and I was kind of at the hospitality party afterwards at the end of it. And this guy came up to me and he said, oh, I saw you doing some pictures. Have you got, I work with Tina Turner, have you got any ideas how we could photograph her in a different way? And I'd had a couple of glasses of wine, it was like midnight, yeah, and it's party, you know. And I said something along the lines of, yeah, I've got a good idea, I'll come to a hotel and I'll get her out of bed and help her get dressed and I'll photograph her the whole day in black and white. And he sort of said, oh yeah, well, I don't think that's going to happen, or something like that. And and then about literally 2 days later, I got a phone call from Tina Turner's publicist. He said, you met Roger, he said, they really like this idea, what are you doing tomorrow? You know, and I said, what? He said, well, Tina's in London, she's up for doing this shoot. So the next day, I arrive at a hotel, go into this suite, and there's all croissants and coffee, and Tina's sitting in a dressing gown, and she says, help yourself, and within a few minutes, I don't know, I'm just doing these pictures of her having some breakfast, and then within about 15 minutes, the manager comes and says, look, we're late, we've got to get to the airport. And I go, airport? What? He says, oh, we're going to Paris, you know. And I said, oh, Christ. And Tina's rushing around, trying to do some makeup and sorting some clothes out in the bed, packing a case. So I'm doing these sort of pictures. I'm kind of taking pictures like that. Do you know what I mean? I do a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, I just do. And then before I know it, we're in the back of a limo and we're flying down to Heathrow Airport. Then we're at the back of Heathrow Airport, where the private planes are, where the private jets are. Then she jumps out of the car, and I'm running backwards, shooting her because we're late. So we've got to go, and then we hand our passports in to this some stewardess, and then next minute we're on a jet, private jet, a little jet with half a dozen, 10 people in it, and we're flying to Paris, you know. And yeah, it was quite surreal, you know. But I was just shooting pictures on the plane, and I did some of her asleep. Then we got off the plane, and then we get into another limo and we shoot into Paris, and then there's some paparazzi by the side of the car, you know, they're trying to take pictures of the window. Then we get to a hotel and I'm sort of still shooting stuff on the fly a bit. Yeah, then we just sort of spent the whole day with Tina, photographing her, and went and did some recording. And that's when this picture here was Tina singing, yeah? But it's a nice picture, but it's shot on a really long lens, a 300mm, yeah? So I'm quite a way away from her, and it's really grainy, and it's a bit blurred, but that's kind of what makes it. I think what's quite interesting is if I'd been shooting a day in the life of Tina Turner, when we had all these trendy digital cameras, I wouldn't be able to take the pictures I took. So like this picture, yeah, see that picture? It's a bit blurred, it's a bit movie. And what that was, she was in her suite. She was had a new album, she was rehearsing for an album, and I said, Tina, just run with me, you know, run with me. And so she sort of, I'm running around the room and I'm going, right? So that's just Tina walking or running around the room, and those pictures are they're a little bit blurred, a bit grainy. Now, if we'd been using digital cameras, we'd have done what's called been using a high ASA, high film speed, high shutter speed, and you wouldn't get a picture like that. But when in them days, when you're using film, you're very restricted with the light. So this is low light. So I'm shooting on about 1/8 of a second at 2.8 on 1600 ASA or something. So that's the magic of using film, really. It restricts you. And why they're so precious now, those pictures, is because they're a moment in time. You know, she's 80 now, and she's been really ill, and you know, so if I hadn't done that, there aren't many pictures around of superstars like that.